Take us away.
All right. Well, hold on. I still got to get that notification bell.
Yeah, me too.
See if it works, because that's usually my cue. So, I mean, according to my phone, I got 7:58.
I'm seeing it up live.
I got 9 p.m.
I got 8.
Here. I think we are.
You got 8? You've been smoking on freaking stogies,
tense.
man.
Yeah.
Rolling up them blunts, Ogre.
Big fatty, batty blunt.
Yeah,
The man ain't coming down on me either.
you got that right, man. There we go. I got the message.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you
there
got
we
it.
are.
There it
yes,
is.
How
we are
come you get the
live.
message?
Because I'm special, man.
Because
You
we,
sure
I don't know.
I get nothing.
All right. So there's Rajesh. I think I just got the cue for Rajesh. We are live.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody. If you're tuning in just now,
right.
you got it on the right place because you made it on to BlackSheep Bravo's Friday Night Roundtable Show. And tonight we have a great show. We have a special guest lined up for you. But before we get to him, we're going to go ahead and check in real quick, go around the roundtable. We're going to start off with Doc. He's out there in the upper Midwest. What's going on in your neck of the woods there, brother?
Not much. So I have a hole in my muffler, so naturally my car is a little bit louder. And as I was driving down the street, the guy next to me looked at me, and I saw him look at me, and he just shook his head, and I was like, yeah, I got a hole in my muffler. What? Fuck off. Yeah, so that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. So fuck him.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Man,
Exciting,
switch to
brother.
decaf.
Mufflers. Very, yeah, no shit. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you get that hole fixed. You got to plug that hole, man, because nobody wants to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Just letting you know. I don't like loud noises, man. Anyway, we're going to go over to the Bronx. Bobby from the Bronx, Devil Dog, what do you got going on over there in the NYC?
Today was a good day, man. I apologize. Last week I wasn't here. The United Nations General Assembly was in. I was posted in front of Trump Tower, so I couldn't be on the show. So I apologize. I was guarding this guy's nice high rise. Anyway, today was a good day. Today I went to the rededication ceremony of a World War I monument that paid tribute to the residents of Highbridge section of the Bronx. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I represented the police department and I represented the American Legion Post 1456. Wonderful, wonderful event. It's about time they paid tribute to our World War I veterans that were from the Highbridge section of the Bronx. So it was a great day today. So that's what I did, man.
Right on. Hybrid section. What is that?
Highbridge section, bro. South Bronx, right in back of Yankee Stadium.
Hybrid.
I'll be posting pictures later on so you can see the event.
Right on.
Yeah, that's where Ace Frehley's from.
The Bronx?
No, I think he's from that section.
Highbridge.
Oh, the
It's
hybrid section?
If it's right behind the Bronx, I think I remember him seeing. Well, he.
Oh, I
was
thought you were
drunk
saying
most of the time.
hybrid.
No.
That's a hybrid. The hybrid section, you know, it's
I don't
between
know.
Bronx and
Right?
Yonkers. Whatever.
Well, no, that's what I thought he was saying, too. What is he saying?
Highbridge. Highbridge.
Like
the
Hegel.
tall
I got a
bridge.
Bronx accent. Come on. Give me a break, guys.
The bridge.
The bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge. The
I gotta
Brooklyn
get my
Bridge.
ears shut.
I know.
I'm
I'm
with
with
you
you.
guys are killing me, man.
No, you're killing us.
Manhattan.
It's
I'm
like
from the Bronx, yo. What's up? Bobby from the
like
Bronx.
Burnside or like back of the yards or something. It's a
Gotcha.
neighborhood.
Now it makes sense. Gotcha.
Makes sense.
Okay. Thanks for the clarity. Thanks for the clarification, Devil Dog. Now I'm squared away.
Been to New
Roger
York City
that.
0
Speaking of
times, I
clarity,
figured that out.
yeah, well, moment of clarity. We're going to go over to Stately Ogre Manor and give us some clarity.
I need a light over here.
What kind of light?
I was just looking at my beautiful visage, and my lighting is good from over here, but this
No,
is
are those
side.
books or are those VHS?
behind there. Those are 8-track. Oh, those are
8-tracks.
DVDs.
Gotcha.
I know those are passe as well too. What happened this week? Nothing. Fucking work still. It's getting there. We made it to it's almost October, and them little bastards will be getting out for teacher conferences and
Fall break, right?
Columbus Day and all that shit. So there's catch some breaks in October. And then there you go. I'm working. I'm bouncing around. My house is a mess because I'm never here anymore, and I'll probably be a mess if I was here 24 hours a day too. But I digress. Other than that, work and hanging around, being cool.
Right on. I was going to say you got to get
And I
one
do.
of those maid services.
I also have a new segment / game for us later.
Well, all right.
All right,
Oh,
right
my
on. Looking
goodness.
forward to that one. All right,
I'm
looking
not.
forward to it. All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to introduce our first our guest tonight. He hails from North Carolina. He is a 15-year Navy veteran and author. Please welcome to the show, Joaquin Juatai. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Appreciate you
welcome,
having
my
me here.
friend. Welcome.
Thank you.
So tell
Uh,
us a little bit about you and a little bit about your the title of your book.
Well, like you said, I'm a 15-year Navy veteran. When I left the Navy, I had recently recovered from major back surgery and a little time spent in the funny farm because the government told me I had PTSD. And I was originally on the typical medical regimen for PTSD, which is over medication, the zombie cocktail or the combat cocktail, whatever you want to call it. I literally was living in such a way that I was getting up to take pills, and then I'd lay in bed and stare at the ceiling, and that was my day, and that was fine. That was all I lived for, 30 some pills a day, and decided to give a service dog a try. I had gone through um, all the therapy, cognitive. Oh, good grief! I'm going to blank on it all. Group therapy, cognitive therapy, EMDR. I jumped through all the hoops. I did everything that the VA told me to do, and nothing helped. Nothing worked. I had no life. I stayed locked away in my house and everything. So I decided to start training a service dog, and I went from being a zombie to functioning and being able to do things as simple as going shopping, which I couldn't do before.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to the grocery store, I couldn't do any of that. And as I was learning and growing with my service dog by my side, I realized there's no book out there that tells you about this, that tells you about the ADA, that explains the law, that tells you what it's like using a service dog day in and day out, going into a restaurant or somewhere and being told you can't bring that dog in here. It doesn't tell you how to deal with it. There's no owner's manual for handling a service dog. And I was a journalist in the Navy, and I have the training, I have the experience, more than 15 years writing experience. I wrote in college, I wrote and was published in high school, and so I thought, well, if the book doesn't exist, I might as well make it happen, because I didn't want any of my brothers and sisters to have to go through some of the nonsense that I've had to go through. So I wrote this book, PTSDog, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder and the Service Dog, and it was published in June 28th, I believe. And this is in a nutshell. It explains the law. It explains how PTSD service dogs help. It explains what life is like, and there's stories of a couple of different veterans who use PTSD service dogs in there, kind of as icing on the cake. To share how these amazing animals save veterans' lives.
Right on. There you have it,
Well
folks.
done,
Now
well
that
done.
was just the intro. That's just the intro. We're going to dive deep a
Wow.
little bit without giving away too much out of the book. But for those of you who are just joining, we have Joaquin Juatai. He is an author and a Navy vet who came out with this book here just recently, here in June, about PTSD and service dogs. So one of the questions that I have, Joaquin, is when you first got the Skeeter, right? That's the name of your service dog.
Peter, yeah.
When you first got him, what kind of guidance did you have? Like, where did you go first once you got him?
I had no guidance. There's very little easily found information out there on the internet. So I decided to do it the way I was trained. I decided to investigate. I decided to do the digging, and I got my Google foo on, and I started learning. Now I grew up in Alaska. I mushed Malamutes and Huskies as a teenager, so I'm very experienced with the breed. But I didn't know anything about service dogs. I knew that he picked up on me when I was having a bad day, and he always glued himself to my side, and he always responded to me losing my shit. But I didn't understand what I could do with that. So, like I said, I started investigating. I started learning, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. It's incredible the amount of misinformation and misunderstanding out there about service dogs, specifically about PTSD service dogs, and about the law. And honestly, after the umpteenth time that a grocery store clerk screamed, "You can't come in here with that dog," I decided I'd better work on putting together something to educate my brothers and sisters. I'd taken the time to learn it, but it's amazing to me how many handlers out there don't have any clue about the law that enables them to use their service dog and take it with them anywhere. And I thought, you know what? Nobody should have to go through some of the stuff I've gone through. And so I started this project 2 years ago. In fact, about 2 years and I think 13 or 14 days ago, I started this project.
Man, okay.
Very nice.
So we're fresh, man. This is like in the makings here. This is history in the making, right? Right
Yeah.
on. All right. Hey, if you guys just joined us, also Siren just came in. She just popped in. We're
Hi,
gonna go head
guys.
over to her. She's over there in the FLA. What's going on over there down there in Florida?
Work today. It's supposed to be fall. It's still not fall. It's still really hot. But I had to go to a restaurant opening today. They're actually opening this apartment complex that is geared towards millennials. Can you guys hear me okay with the setting I have?
Oh
this
yeah,
on?
yeah.
Okay.
But
So it's geared towards millennials. It's basically like a college dorm. So it's these really nice, lavish apartments, but they have like this general common area. So there's like a bar downstairs, like a craft bar, mixology. There's like this pool that has like yoga and everything that's going on. So it's basically like a dorm room. So like the apartments are more simple, but then they have all these common areas. So it's like appealing to the millennial crowd, which is awful to me. Like I would never want to be able to see that many people all at once ever in my life. I like my apartment to like close myself off and like not see humans. But for people that like
that.
you know, just left their mama's house and want to hang out and not, you know, be by themselves, it's actually pretty cool. So they had this new bar that opened up called Jaguar Sun, and they have all the crazy craft cocktails and stuff like that. So I rushed back from that to get here, and then I got stuck behind a bridge. I'm always stuck behind a bridge. Sorry, guys.
All right. Well, I'll tell you
So-
what. I should have caught you earlier. Was that bar kind of far away, or is it?
No, it was right down the street from my friend's house. So I'm actually at my friend's house right now. So
Excellent.
I
'Cause I was
don't
gonna
know
say,
how long.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have to get back to it, we get it. Don't worry. It's glad you can make it, but we understand if you have to take off.
Dedicated, man.
Yeah, just take off. But we have a question here because we're gonna go around the table here and ask our special guest Joaquin Juatai, who's just talked about his new book, PTSD Service Dog. So we're gonna go over to Doc and see what his question is, and fire away.
So I really don't have anything profound for you. It's more of a simple question. How long did it take you to actually write the book?
Good question.
Well, it took me 2 years. I used
Okay.
up until the day I told the publisher, go for it, print it. I was making changes, and I think that's significant. The book is only 100 pages long. It's not a very long book. In at the height of my career, before all the things occurred, I could have written this in a day and a half or 2 days. It took me 2 years to do this. Part of that is because I had to travel across the country. I traveled across the country 5 times to meet with veterans and interview them to get their stories in the book. But part of
And that was all out of pocket, yeah?
yeah, I had some donations. I had some support through my Facebook page and through some very, very good brothers and sisters who helped. In fact, one brother literally kept the wheels on my truck. I woke up to a flat and had to go change it and go find a tire place, and he made that donation. I didn't even ask for money or anything. I looked in, I logged into my phone and found a $500 donation that put a new set of tires on my truck so that I could keep going on my road
right.
trip.
That's
That
nice.
was nice.
But yeah, it was out of pocket. But the reason I bring up the 2 years versus 2 or 3 days, which back in the day it would have taken, is because the whole time I'm working on this book, I'm fighting PTSD, and some of the symptoms are loss of the ability to concentrate or stay focused. With the hypervigilance, you're always go, 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 and you have to narrow down and focus on one thing. And it was a very painful process, primarily because I was so frustrated at myself, because I knew had this been 10, 15 years ago, I could have just sit down and bang it out. But I feel that process was worth it, because process is a word I use a lot in regards to service dogs, and in the writing too. That process is part of the healing and part of the growth.
Well, thank you very much.
Nice, Doc.
Very good.
All right, Devil Dog, we're going to head over to you. You got a question for our guest, Joaquin?
Yeah. Like I said, first of all, welcome, and I appreciate you being on this show. I read your book, and I'm telling you, I'm a huge fan, because finally there's a guide. I call it a guide to the use of PTSD dogs. In my personal experience, I'm up to my second service animal. My first one, she was here for 9 years. She was phenomenal. And as you stated in your book, she picked up when you get those symptoms, when you start getting that rage. And when they start rubbing against and snapping you out of that, that's what I use Shala for. She was phenomenal for that. My thing is, how did you go about having this experience to just train a dog out of nowhere to become a helpful PTSD service dog? Because it took me a while. Had I read your book, it would have been life much easier, because the help is not out there, at least in New York. It's not out there. So when I read your book, it opened up a world of, knowledge with my new service dog now that I just got. So what's going on, brother?
Well, again, that word process, using a PTSD service dog is fully a process, and we have to get a little in the weeds here. There are three ways to get a service dog. You can go to an organization that hands you a trained dog, nice, shiny, trained, 2-3-year-old dog, and says, here you go, have fun, drive safe. And you go, okay, this is a great dog, it's a beautiful dog, what the fuck do I do now? And that's really, you might get 2 or 3 weeks of training where you go. Some of these big organizations, they'll fly you to where their facility is, and for 3 weeks you're there with the dogs. And the first week is spent trying to pick out a dog. They just cycle you through the number of dogs. Each veteran goes with a dog for a day or half a day, however many, and they try to see, okay, well, they seem to have a connection. And then, so that takes a week. And then they spend a week and a half, 2 weeks training you how to handle the dog. Now, I'm sure you had 9 years with your dog, this never stops. Training never stops. You grow, your dog grows, your needs change, your dog's needs change. And when you use one of these third-party training organizations, you don't have the tools you need to grow and change. I happen to have bred Skeeter. I held him. He was born by C-section, so I wasn't there when he was born. But 3 hours after he was born, he fit in the palm of my hand. And I held him right there. And this is a unique experience. I don't know many people who can say this, but I knew when I held that puppy, this is my dog. This was going to be my best friend for the rest of my life. I'm getting goosebumps. The hair's standing up on my back and my neck talking about it. That's not normal. Okay. Usually you get a puppy around 8 to 10, 12 weeks. You start training them. And I just worked on basic obedience. I taught him how to be a dog, how to be a good dog in the house, potty trained him, taught him how to walk on the leash. I did all those very basic things. And I paid attention, again, that word process. I started paying attention. I would catch myself in the midst of spooling up to a rage. And I paid attention to what he was doing, how he was responding. And I started looking at that. And I started applying that to what I was doing. Okay, I'm spinning up, I'm freaking out because of X, Y, and Z or whatever, right? And he's coming over and he's bumping my leg and saying, hey, Dad, hey, look at me. Don't look at that's pissing you off. Look at me, And so I started taking those natural alerts, that's the phrase that's used in the community, those natural alerts, and I started training him to perform specific actions to alert. So now, and for over almost 6 years now. Now, when Skeeter sits on my foot, I do a self-check immediately. That's level 1. If he comes and sits on my foot, okay, what's going on? What's going on with me? What's pissing me off? What's stressing me out? Why am I freaking out? And I do a self-check. I really dig in and, okay, what's going on? And I pay attention to my dog. And we've discovered there's scientific proof. I reference it in the book. There's actually references, footnotes in the book. There have been scientific studies that show that when you pet a dog, it releases endorphins, releases oxytocin, which they call the love hormone or the calm hormone. It reduces dopamine levels. It calms you. There are physiological changes that have been empirically proven to occur. So when a 100-pound dog sits on your foot, your natural reaction, drop your hand to his head. Because what else can you do? There's a 100-pound dog sitting on you. You can't just shove him away and go like, hey, get out of here, And so I started clocking that. I started observing the process of what was going on in my head, how he was responding to me, and how me responding to that natural alert that then I shaped into a named task. I started just paying attention to, well, look, when I start petting him, like, hey, I'm not pissed off anymore. I'm not ready to punch that guy in the face anymore.
Right.
And so that's what I did. But that takes, and it's something I say in the book, and it's something I say, on my Facebook page when I write about training. It really takes a lot of self-awareness. Training your service dog for PTSD, especially if you do it by yourself, is a painful process because you have to look in the mirror. You really have to dig into what's going on in your head and why. And then you have to match the dog's tasks to that. So you have to get into those situations where you're freaking out. You have to get into those situations where one more word and you're going to pop somebody. And then you have to stop. You have to put the brakes on, as painful as it is, because it ain't easy, and pay attention to what your dog's doing. And then you can then build on what your dog's doing to begin to use it for tasks and create and alleviate situations, I should say. You can train your dog to help alleviate situations. One of the things that nearly always set me off, and it really came to a head for me, a waitress, I'm in a restaurant, and, it's loud and it's crazy, and a waitress put her hand on my shoulder, and I spun around with a fist ready to go. And that scared me, her. But that could have put me in jail for a natural PTSD driven response. You're hyper vigilant. You're always on guard. Your fight or flight is always there. And in a loud, noisy environment, somebody puts their hand on your shoulder. Your first thought is to protect yourself. It's not even a thought. It's it's your first reaction.
Reflex, instinct.
Yeah, it's instinct. It's reflex, absolutely. And that's just it. PTSD is not a disorder. I used the word in the title of the book because it's what everybody knows it as. It's the label everybody has for it. But PTSD is the brain's natural response to traumatic events. It's how you survive. It is a survival mechanism. It's not a disorder.
Right on.
Yeah, that's neat how you said it. I've never heard it that way. Wow.
Well,
I said,
me neither.
Yeah. And another thing, and I got this from a friend of mine who is the head of a large training organization. You don't suffer from PTSD. You survive with it. PTSD is the result
look at
of
that.
I never heard that one before.
You heard it right here on BlackSheep Bravo, folks. You heard it right here.
I'm going to use that, man. You hear that, Mr. Double Dog? When she goes off on me about doing crap, I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. In case you guys are just joining us, we have a guest on tonight. We have the author of Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder and the Service Dog, Joaquin Juatai. If you have a question for Joaquin, go ahead and chime in. Ask away. This is a show for everyone. And if you have a question about service dogs in general, or you want to ask a question about his book, go ahead and chime in. The more the merrier. And while we're waiting for you guys to chime in with your questions, we're going to head over to Staley Ogre Matter. And do you have a question for our guest tonight?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I did. You kind of hit on it a little bit there with, I was wondering, you had said in your open there about the your dog would react to your cues and would come by and do stuff. I was wondering what kind of the things that the service dog will do
Yeah.
when they pick up.
Well, and that's really it's individual.
Right.
The law says that a service dog is a dog that has been trained, individually trained,
Right.
to perform tasks or work to assist an individual with a disability. Okay. So for me, what I trained my dog to do is he has 3 levels of alerts, which I built off of his natural response. So first he'll sit on my foot. That's level 1. That's the warning. Dad, you're getting spun up. You're going to lose control if you don't pay attention to something else. And oh, by the way, here's 100 pounds of sharp, bony dog butt on your foot. Pay attention to me. And that takes my focus off of whatever it is. And there's people call it different things, but essentially, in general, you can call that the dog is providing distraction. Well, level 2, then begins if things keep going. If I'm in a conversation that I can't back away from, and it's getting me, and I'm stressing, he'll start leaning against me and start pushing me away from whatever is stressing me. And here's where I make a division between stressors and triggers. Okay. Here's another good zinger for you. What happens when a trigger gets pulled?
Can't pull it
Round
back.
goes
That's it.
off.
It's fired.
The round goes off. You can't pull it back, and something
Round goes
downrange
off.
is destroyed, right? So we
Right.
need to, how we self-talk with PTSD, we need to stop talking about triggers. When a trigger is pulled, something is destroyed. We don't want to pull the trigger. We do not want to pull the
Right.
trigger. So I deal with stressors in my life, and I taught him to help me handle stressors by distracting me or turning my attention away from the thing that was stressing me before it reached the point where the trigger got pulled. Because when the trigger gets pulled, dishes go flying across the room, doors get
Holes
slammed.
go in the wall.
Yeah.
I've
We
been
don't
there.
want to get
Many-
Oh,
many
you
of
got
fucking-
windows knocked out.
Many of the doors have got holes on them back in the day.
Yeah.
Been
We
there.
don't want to get there. We don't want to get there. So he has taught me by paying attention to him that I'm distracted. I'm away from it. And he's pushing me away from whatever's stressing me. Level 3, he figured out on his own. Thank God it's only ever happened twice in our life together. When I was first training him and working with him, I lived in Pueblo, Colorado, and in the early 2010s, 11, 12, 13 era, I don't know if it's still true. I haven't lived in Pueblo for a number of years. There was a very large meth head population, a lot of tweakers.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things that sets me off is those guys that are just so off their rocker, and this guy was in my face in the Walmart, and I was ready. I was cocked, locked, and ready to roll. Peter had sat on my foot, he was pushing me back. The next step would have been something that would have either put one or both of us in the hospital and probably would have put me in cuffs in jail. He turned around. Now remember, Skeeter weighs 100 pounds. He turned around, stood up, put both paws on my shoulders, knocked me flat on my ass, and held me down, laid on me. Just laid on me, put his head right here. This is the laying on your body full length or part length, at least across your midriff, is called deep pressure therapy. It's the same concept as weighted jackets or weighted vests.
Like a thunder blanket kind of a thing.
Yeah, like a thunder.
Yeah.
It calms you. So here I am,
Thunder buddies.
flat on my back, in the middle of the aisle in Walmart with a 100-pound dog laying on me.
Wow.
He would not let me up.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
hello.
We may have lost connection there.
Man, that must have been
Still with us.
so
Oh my
big
goodness.
experience that they just froze him.
Oh,
man, he'll have
He
to
was
come
getting
back.
good. See, they're going to the good
yeah,
part.
I was gonna follow up. I wanted to know what
Yeah,
the
that man's a
dog did when he
fucking
cold
walking
cocked the waitress.
encyclopedia, man. I tell you that.
yeah.
He's-
I-
That is brilliant stuff.
the question
stuff.
I
I
was
mean, I
gonna
gotta
follow up
say
with. Yeah.
I mean,
It'll be
can't you relate to some of the shit he's talking about? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. Because again, that's one of the things that drew me away from taking katana out in public, because people are just assholes, man. And it's like he said, it triggered me, when these people did that. But like
Right.
he said, it's not really a trigger. It's more, you got to look at it as a stressor. Well, yeah,
Right.
man, people are stressing me the fuck out, and that's why
Fuck
that's
yeah.
why I never took her out, because it made me more pissed off when people wouldn't understand that, hey, I'm just walking my dog, man. I just want
Right,
to get out
come
and get some
on,
fresh
man.
air. Don't bother me, And
Dude.
when I want you to pet her, then I'll take the vest
There we go.
off. and
Hey, welcome
run
back.
around,
Welcome back.
Sorry.
We was recapping everything you were saying.
Sandy
Yeah,
Rose
yeah.
said, "Hello, gentlemen." Well, hello, Sandy, and we also
Hello,
have
Sandy.
Sam Griffin. The
Hey, Sam.
Illuminatis don't want that story out there.
The Illuminatis don't want
Well, all
your
right,
story
Sam.
out there.
They don't want the story
About Skeeter
Whatever that
stopping
means.
me.
Yeah.
apparently.
Ah.
Well, real quick, because we got a couple segments we
tweakers
got to
and-
hit. So before we get ahead of ourselves, Joaquin, tell us how can people get your book? How can you get
Yeah.
this book in your hand? Because it sounds to me that it has some really good information. And
Double Dog got
how can we get a hold of this book? I'm gonna
It's
put a picture
available
of
at
it.
my publisher's website, booklocker.com. You can also find it on amazon.com,
That's where I found it.
barnesandnoble.com. I think Google Books has it listed. I'm not 100% positive on that.
There
But
it is.
booklocker.com, amazon.com, barnesandnoble.com. You can also go to my website, my website, ptsdog.co. My Facebook page, PTSDog. We got the Instagram, PTSDog_Skeeter. We're on Twitter at PTSDog. I think that's all the social media. I also have the Facebook page, as you gentlemen have seen. I publish multiple pieces weekly regarding PTSD and service dogs and the ADA and all that good relevant stuff. And there's a lot of good information there. Honestly, a lot of content that at one time was in the part of the book or was going to be part of the book or is part of the book is also available on the page. And seriously, if you read my Facebook page from when I started it back in 2016 to now, you'll know everything that's in the book. I'm not trying to not sell my book. It's a lot easier to have this and sit and load Facebook. But if you really needed the information and couldn't wait for the book to get to you, you could find it on the page. Or you can always message the page and ask.
Mark
ask.
is tipped. Don't tell people that.
Yeah, well,
Buy the book, guys.
It's all for the veterans.
Yeah, just
Now the
do
merch.
it.
Do you sell merchandise? Because I see T-shirts.
I do. Yeah.
I did order a T-shirt.
I'm wearing my PTS Dog red
That's
shirt.
that's the
right
one I
now.
ordered.
Yep. Remember
Did you
everyone.
get it yet,
deployed?
Steve? Did you get your T-shirt?
I ordered that shirt, but that was
Yeah,
just
one of those moments.
Yeah, I sell some merchandise,
Cool.
T-shirts, coffee mug, things like that.
Nice.
I also have produced a PowerPoint presentation for businesses specifically on how to understand
Look at this
what
guy.
this person coming in with a dog is and how to deal with that and how to do it right. The law is very
So how
clear.
much you gonna-
Businesses do have rights.
How
I
much
give
you
that
gonna charge these
PowerPoint.
businesses?
That PowerPoint is free. Now, if they want me to come talk to them and do training, that's where
Yeah.
money is involved.
There you go. That's what I'm talking.
Yeah. If I'm going to come do a presentation, I'm online to do a presentation at one or two large regional VAs here in the Southeast. Knock on wood. I'm still working on that. I hope it happens because honestly,
Yeah.
the VA is one of the places that really needs to get on ball with PTSD service dogs, and they're not. And
No.
they're killing veterans because they're resisting service dogs for PTSD.
Yes, I
thought they were up on
I've
it.
been
Oh,
stopped. I've been questioned. I've been
Yeah,
asked to
there's-
produce
there's just lack of
documentation.
training, man. That's
I
that's
turned
what
right
it
back
is.
around. And I said, "Screw this, man."
Yeah.
Huh.
No, it's
Well,
it's
not
just
only
lack
that,
of,
but
it's
the
ignorance.
But
Ignorance.
the VA's official position on the Center for PTSD, which is a VA website, the National Center for PTSD, the VA's official position is there is not enough empirical evidence to show whether or not PTSD service dogs are effective as part of a veterans treatment protocol. I'm here to tell you there are thousands of us out there whose dogs have literally saved our lives, whose dogs actively save our lives every day,
Absolutely.
and that is absolute and complete bullshit.
Yeah.
VA,
that right.
that is
Don't mince
bullshit. Department of Veterans Affairs, bullshit. Sorry,
Right,
Mom,
right
I'm
on.
cussing fuck the VA.
That's what's up right there, man. That's right.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Is one last question is well for me is Skeeter really camera shy? Is he really that afraid? Because people
Skeeter,
are
man.
asking,
No,
where is he
no.
at? Where is he at? They just,
Oh, okay. Hey,
or
Let's
is,
see
is he
Skeeter.
passed out? Is he, if he's
Skeeter.
sleeping, don't bother.
he's passed out.
Skeeter's
on the
so
floor.
cool.
Let's see if I
Really,
can-
Doc?
Hang on, I got to move my
Doc,
mic.
that's
Hang on.
I like that, Rajesh. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
look at
yeah,
Skeeter.
he's knocked
Nice.
No, he's looking. He's looking.
Yep. Hey,
out.
what?
There he
He's like,
is.
"Oh, what the
man,
fuck
do
he's
you want?"
gorgeous.
Yeah, got food?
He's like, yo, what do you want,
Exactly,
man?
got food.
Yeah, woke him up.
Hey, I'm napping over here.
Yeah, the house better be. You better be. The house better be on fire to be waking me up right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Better be some tweakers around here.
God.
He worked hard this
Yeah,
morning.
that's a
We
good
went to
Better not be no
Walmart.
waitresses getting ready to get knocked out.
We went to Walmart this morning. He worked hard. He earned stretching out and being lazy right now.
Well, all
He
right,
earned it
man.
today.
Good for
I'd like
Skeeter.
to give you a unsolicited suggestion.
Yeah.
Stay out of Walmart. It might cut down on some of your
That's a start.
stressors.
You know,
Yes.
that's really not a bad suggestion at all. Unfortunately,
man.
the price is right there, you know.
I love Walmart.
Take it
man.
up, take it up a notch. Head over to Target.
Yeah,
Ah,
Target.
we-
Yeah, Target
We
is
don't
where I
have
like to
one in
go.
this town because, I actually go to if you're from the South, you know this. I don't know if they're any further north, but I go Food Lion.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Used to hit
Love
there.
Food Lion.
That's like the.
What's
that's
wrong
like
with the Food
King, you know?
Lion?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why does Rajesh hate the Food Lion?
Rajesh
Yeah,
hates
they don't have
everything.
they don't
hates
have food
everything.
they don't have food like that in Genovia. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, Joaquin, stick around with us if you
Yep.
can. We got a
Absolutely,
couple
man.
segments. We'd love for you to stay on the show with us. This way
Hell
people
yeah.
could still chime in if they have something they want to say or ask. So
You betcha.
definitely stick around if you can. We're gonna head over to Doc and see what he's got up on his agenda here for tonight. Do you have a segment for us tonight?
I sure do. We are going to play the sound game tonight.
Well, all
Oh,
right.
I
the
hope
sound
you
game.
guys are ready for this. So this is what's going to happen. Rajesh is going to play a sound clip, and it's going to last for 5 seconds. You're going to guess what it is. And today, I believe the category is 90s sitcoms.
All right. Play along, Watai.
Yay.
Yeah.
Should
So,
play that right now.
all right. So, a sound will play like this.
This is the story all about.
And then, as soon as the music stops, you guys can start write down your answers. We're going to give the audience about 20 seconds to be able to answer because that's how long our delay is here. So, yeah, let's do this. Here's number one. Let's hit it. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
Go for it.
All right, let's go.
Oh wow. Yeah.
All right, write down your answers.
God damn, I forgot that shit.
The first one was a test. Yes, and that was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but it was only a test. Let's do this
Let
one
me
one more
see,
time,
just
just in
a test.
case people can make sure people.
But
heard.
Sandy, you got the right picture. You got the right idea. That's what we're looking for.
Yes.
Ooh. I know you guys know this one.
Oh, yeah.
Devil Dog, what do you got?
See if I can get the camera.
That is Home Improvement. What do you got, Ogre? Are you
Yeah.
cheating?
Tim Allen,
God
baby.
damn it.
Tim Allen.
And, I can never
Tim the
remember.
Tool Man.
Just think of fucking Tool Time, which was the show.
Yeah, Tim the Tool Man with the hot chick.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
I was gonna say,
Um,
but no, I'll be honest.
All right, Spaniard.
Get bored.
Home Improvement, nice.
Yeah, man, that was
I got a
the
piece of
show,
paper.
man.
And our famous
good.
author, what do you have?
I was
You cheating?
no. I drew a complete blank. I was in college in the early 90s. I probably drank that night and couldn't remember.
That's fair.
Yeah.
A lot of people have.
Honest
You
answer,
watched it in the
man.
barracks.
These
That's
are
it.
only worth 1 point each because there's no song title and artist, so they're only worth 1
Roger
point.
that. All right.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, man. My favorite.
Oh, believe me, they're going to get a little bit more difficult as we go on.
Okay.
Didn't we do this already?
I don't know. We might have.
No.
I don't remember, but whatever.
Who do you think was hotter, the daughter or Peg?
Oh, the
Peg
daughter.
You're giving it the
what's
fuck
her
away.
name?
Gave it
Yeah,
away.
you should have just said daughter or mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. Come
The
on.
daughter,
All right.
man. The
Everybody
daughter
hold up your answers. Let's see if you got it. Yep.
Yeah, see, that's
Kelly
that's
was
iconic.
hotter, but I think I'd want to
Everyone
spend more
got
time
that
fucking
one.
Peg.
Peg,
Alright, these-
I
anything.
know.
were
I
kinda
would
like
say the
warm-ups.
same thing.
I always wondered
Peg
what the
had
hell
some
was
back
wrong
to
with
her,
Al.
man. You had a
What
nice
was Al's
booty.
problem? Did his dick not work or what? Because
I don't know.
she always wanted it.
Every time he said, he always looked like it was a drag to
Yeah,
go bang.
to-
And I'm
to
like,
go
man,
She's
bang his
fucking
wife.
hot, man.
Well, it could have been her voice that fucking
That's
nails
all
on a
right.
chalkboard.
You get
Jeez,
over it,
okay.
you can just stick your forearm right in the
earplugs,
fucking
man.
throat.
Black Sabbath to drown that
Earplugs.
shit.
Yeah,
Black
that's
Sabbath would
Sabbath.
drown
That's why they
that
make
shit.
gags, right?
Fucking A.
All right, here we go. Number 3.
Oh. Wow, Rajesh needs an update.
Seconds.
Wow, Rajesh.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not gonna cheat. I have no idea.
That's
I
not
don't know.
really cheating.
I don't know.
I'm not
Just
gonna
give
cheat.
it
I'm
up.
wrong.
I don't know.
Thanks for being honest.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
All right, one more time.
I don't know.
Any commenting? We got like 87 viewers today, don't we?
Yeah, we're.
Yeah.
Sandy Rose is just chiming in.
All right, alrighty. Let's see. Hold them
I
up.
have no idea.
Let's go for it.
TJ Hooker, I don't know.
Oh my God.
That is
that's
incorrect. That's 70 show.
What do you mean that's incorrect?
Said TJ Hooker.
Oh,
fucking- TJ Hooker is
Oh,
in
I was.
Hooker.
Yeah, I was
That was
wrong.
an 80s
I was
show.
wrong. Yeah,
but they did have Shatner.
did.
Katie, you got it wrong too. What's going on there? No,
Katie
she
got
got it right.
something wrong?
Yeah.
No, no, she got it right.
Is her Google slow tonight or what?
What about you,
She's
Joaquin?
really good at these quizzes, man.
No,
Nope.
Never was a big fan.
Okay, here we
Me
go.
neither.
Number 4.
Nope.
Ooh.
The fuck is that?
Oh.
Oh man, it's the tip of the tongue right there.
90s sitcom. 90s
I'm completely
sitcom.
stumped.
All right, here we go. One more time.
One more.
Okay.
I have no clue.
5 seconds. That's all you get.
That's it. Wow, that just my mind is blank.
Hey,
I'm
I
drawing a
don't know
blank.
either.
Nope.
House guest. Hey. Hey.
I don't know. Linda, do you know it, Linda?
He got
got
it.
one.
Yeah,
Wow, there you
Like
go.
that.
All right, rock.
That show was fucking
Holy
terrible. That's why I
cow.
didn't get that.
that was a
No,
horrible
that was not
show.
Johnny Bravo.
It's horrible,
Sorry.
but it had John Lithgow in it, so you know.
Lithgow he is good.
I love me some John Lithgow.
Spaniard, did you get it?
No, not even guess.
I'm done. I think Devil Dog wins this one.
Did you get it, Ogre?
I only
No.
got two.
No,
Devil Dog?
Sandy said the same thing. Not a clue.
I got two. I think we're tied.
All right, here we go.
a fucking
what were
loser
we,
bowl.
number 5. Holy crap.
Yeah, we're moving right along.
Oh, yes.
My back is getting tight.
Oh Jesus, he's got the lyrics. You win.
Oh, you know
Devil
Devil Dog always. He recorded the
Oh,
shit on his
yeah.
VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still got
right.
the tapes.
Oh.
I got them on beta.
One more time.
My back is getting tight.
My dick is
It's a weird. That's a weird song for a weird title.
That
for a
reminds
weird-
me of the song More Than a Feeling. If you know that, then you get the
Yeah.
show. That's a hint.
That's.
More than a feeling.
What?
More than a feeling.
Uncanny.
It is.
It's
It's
uncanny.
perfect. I had 0.
All right, Joaquin, what do you got?
That's based out of my. There you
of
go. My
Queens.
favorite show.
Shit,
Oh,
that is
well,
right.
that's why.
King
Yeah,
of
that's
Queens.
okay.
King of
Oh.
Queens.
Spaniard, did you get that?
I got
Boo.
Family Matters. That's why I thought
No.
I
Ogre?
got nothing.
King
I
of
suck.
Queens, baby.
that's what I thought it was.
No,
Wow,
that
this is
was-
actually
oh,
a closer game
That's
than I thought it was
Doug.
going to be.
I'm Doug, and my wife's Carrie.
Yeah,
All right,
that's it.
We are on number 6. I don't expect anyone to know
Oh.
this.
I
Or
thought
at
we were
least
only
you
doing 5 for
guys.
some reason.
What the? Here it goes.
What? I couldn't hear over Devil Dog's breathing.
Sorry.
One more time.
Here it goes.
Wow, that's 5 seconds, huh?
I'm gonna guess, but I'm gonna
5
be
seconds.
wrong.
Oh, thinking the WB.
Who's laughing there?
Nobody.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm trying to cheat, but
I must have been. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I'm like Joaquin. I was probably in,
the
in
delay still
college.
goes on the
Joaquin,
from one
anything?
laptop to the next.
No, I'm drawing a complete blank.
It is not Martin.
Yeah, yeah.
Racist.
No, Devil Dog.
No, I don't know.
That was Keenan and Kel.
Yeah,
Oh my
see,
God, dude, I don't watch that.
That's
shit.
on fucking
Numbers.
Nickelodeon.
Katie
That
got it.
doesn't-
Yeah, I don't watch
Yeah.
Nickelodeon. Come on, I'm a
Sitcom.
grown ass
Keep
man. I
that
don't watch
bullshit.
that.
Yeah, we're
bullshit.
grown men in this
Keep
fucking
that
show.
to fucking the big three.
Oh,
what?
you
Okay,
guys
sorry,
missed it.
I was bitching.
Mhm.
Go again.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of snappy.
Told you they're
No
gonna get
idea.
harder.
Sounds like a tampon commercial.
I was going to
That's
say
what
that
she
sounds
said.
like the background music to an infomercial.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah. It's on the ShamWow commercial.
Hey, Doc
Where were
Dave
you
got
guys
he
at
got
in the
King of
90s?
Queens.
I was fucking stoned
very
in the
nice.
90s. I don't remember any of this.
Hmm.
Now I don't care what the temperature is.
But
Thank you.
When
All
Katie
right,
don't know.
I'm
Katie
gonna
don't
do
know
that
then.
one more time.
Yeah.
Nothing from anyone.
No.
it's
Wow,
got to
that
be
was-
something
okay.
with teenage girls because
Full
I'm
House.
drawn.
Condom
Or-
commercial.
A creature called Alf.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
God.
God.
Oh,
Dude.
man.
That wasn't a 90s
Al-
show.
But they did have a couple episodes in 1990, so therefore it made it a
What,
90s.
March in
sitcom.
1990?
Yo.
All right, here we
was knee
go.
deep in sand.
Yeah.
I was in Kofji. I was
That sounded like a tampon commercial.
That sounds gay.
Massengill.
Yeah.
5 seconds. Okay.
1990 Spaniard was in the desert and I was with his girlfriend.
You're the motherfucker.
He said it was you.
Wow.
You're Jody, son of a bitch. I finally found
Son
you,
of a-
ogre. Now I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Yeah,
I don't even know what fucking number we're on. I've got so many wrong.
That's
This
me.
message brought to
play
you
it
by
19
Massengill
times.
douche.
I have no idea.
Number 8. None of you guys. Wow, you
No.
guys suck. That is Wings.
Wow.
Oh, that was
God.
whack. I've never watched one episode
Nobody,
of that.
come on.
You know,
Even
the
Insomniacs
com
didn't
part
watch
in
that shit.
Sitcom stands for comedy.
All right. Here we go. Number 9.
Lord.
What the hell's going
That
on?
it?
I think I know what it
That's
is.
it. 5 seconds. Do you need it again?
Yes, please.
I always need it again.
Yes, please.
What's up, George?
Yeah, I know it. I know it.
You got it?
I got it.
You got
Me
that
and,
shit?
me and Trophy Wife are, yeah, never mind. But yeah, we ran into this show accidentally.
Oh, really?
George Pites, the Serb, is watching.
What up,
All right,
George?
Spaniard,
Talk
you
about
seem pretty
gay.
confident. What
I
do you
think
got?
this is. I think this is it. Perfect
That is
Strangers.
correct.
Ah,
Yes.
fuck.
What the hell?
What'd you have,
Isn't
Ogre?
that wild how
was wrong.
nudity
I said Northern Exposure.
ties in?
Perfect Strangers. I never even heard of that
Oh,
shit.
cousin Belky.
Cousin
Oh,
Belky.
wow. We are on the final one.
Thank God.
All right, finally.
Everyone's going to get this one.
Is that the
Yeah.
fucking Soul Train Awards or something?
No, man.
Soul Train Awards.
Too
Racist? What the
too
fuck?
soon. Too soon.
I don't
That was
know.
bad with that Martin pick.
Yeah. I think I know. I think I know. what
I
this
don't
is.
know it.
One more time.
Yeah. Come on, think hard now.
Sounds like the 50s.
That's from the
Close.
Manhattan Transfer.
Yeah, Manhattan.
Devil Dog,
Think
what do
of-
you got?
3 to
I
10
got
years.
Zippo, nothing, nada.
Ogre, what do you got?
Hero.
Joaquin?
Drawing a blank.
Spaniard.
I'm thinking it's the Cosby
No,
Show.
that's not Cosby.
No.
That's not the
Damn, I
Cosby
was so
Show.
damn-
100% sure it's not Cosby Show.
Wow. That was Frasier.
Oh.
Wow, I was
Oh,
way
terrible,
off.
too.
And I used to like that show.
Oh,
I liked
right,
a
wow.
British woman that used to play on that show. She was very British, and she had all that good
Holy shit. We have a 3-way tie.
What, 0?
Who?
And Ogre, you're not even part of the 3-way tie.
Yeah.
Damn.
Ollie
Ogre's
got
knocked
two.
out. Devil Dog is in. Spaniard's in. And Joaquin's in. So this
Wow, way to
next
go,
one
Joaquin.
is going to be the tiebreaker.
Okay.
And you're just going to shout it out as soon as you know.
Oh,
All right.
shit. Okay,
What
one of
it
those
is.
numbers.
Everything.
It's going to be quick. And whoever gets it first is tonight's winner.
Yeah, here we go. I'm ready.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
We're ready.
This
The Simpsons.
Oh, Devil Dog got it. Nice. Nicely done, Devil Dog. Hey, you finally won one. Congratulations.
That's
Look
my
at
second
that
one.
guy.
I won. I won the last time too.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, look at that.
Uh-oh. Sorry. There's some... Uh-oh.
What happened?
The DVR came off pause, and somebody was a little slow on the draw with the mute button there.
Oh no. Are you watching baseball or football or what's
Watching the end of this stupid-ass Manifest show.
Oh, I thought you're watching a drama. Look at this guy. I thought for sure you'd be watching sports.
There's
Yeah, you
nothing
watching the
on. The
Yankees
Cubs
get
game. The
bad.
Cubs played in the morning, afternoon, whatever.
I don't know. I don't follow that.
The
But,
Yankees.
all right. Speaking of Yankees. Look at that. Speaking of hybrid Yankees, hybrid
Yeah.
Bronx. Did you have a segment tonight, Ogre, that you wanted to share with us?
I have a
today?
game.
Oh, a game.
Oh,
It's really quick.
Really?
It's a quick game.
You
All right,
only-
let's do it.
You only
Let's
get
do it.
one answer each.
That's what she said.
All right.
In order to try, do people still say politically correct?
I don't
No,
think
fuck that.
that's. I
I
don't
Okay,
know.
well,
not
in order to
anymore.
keep things to 2018 and try not to be too racist, let's say, let's call this guess. See if you can guess what region of the world the person's ancestors came from.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you got it.
Talking about
I
history
think
now.
just yeah.
Now here's the set. That's the title of the game, and that's the
You got me
rules.
intrigued. Okay.
Okay. Now here's the setup. Thursday afternoon, rush hour, going home. Afternoon rush hour.
Okay. Right.
Highway expressway outside of Chicago. For those of you familiar with the Chicagoland area, we'll call it I-55 southwest of 355.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. 3-lane expressway.
3 lanes.
Over in the left lane, traffic is pulling along at a nice tick of about 70, 75. Over
Yeah.
in the right lane, or the slow lane, or whatever you call it,
Mhm.
that's cruising along still between 50 and, let's say, 55, 60 miles an hour.
Okay.
Okay?
The actual posted speed.
And I have an old Ogre there, has a nice stretch in the middle lane, making some quick time, and comes up behind.
Beep beep.
Nope, not in a Prius. I'm not in a Prius. I'm in my GMC Terrain. Thank you. And I pull up. I get in the middle lane, and I pull up behind somebody who is going 42 miles per hour.
Asian. Has to be Asian.
And of course, I am stuck. And I finally
Gotta
got
be.
around to the left lane and was able to pass.
I
Now
got
the
my
question I'm asking you: what region of the world did this man's ancestors appear to have come from?
Asia.
Okay, Doc says Asia. What region? Let's break it down a little better than that.
Because Asia's pretty big.
Asia's
Let's go with,
Asia is big.
China.
let's
China.
go with China, Japan.
Okay, Spaniard.
area.
I'm going to say Colombia.
Okay, Devil Dog.
China.
Okay, PTSD Dog.
Thailand.
Oh.
Thailand.
Oh.
Okay.
I-
What's
I
your
would
answer,
say-
Ogre?
I
If
would
you've
say
been there-
three of the
if
four-
you've
I would
been
say
there-
three of the four you are correct. I would have to say it was Southeast Asia.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Right on.
It was just, it's one of them things where you think to yourself, and you're driving and you're like, this motherfucker, goddamn.
It wouldn't surprise me if their
some
blinker was
fucking
on too.
Chinese motherfucker, and then you pass him, and then you there's that split second where you think to yourself, you're like, I really shouldn't stereotype people in this day and age. I'm an adult. And then you
Yeah.
drive past and you look and you're like, well, doesn't that make fucking sense?
No,
I've had a
geez.
rant about this before. I hate Asian drivers. I can't fucking stand them.
Oh,
Get
wow.
off the road.
No filters here.
Get off the road.
So
No
that's-
filters
that's-
there, bro.
And see,
that's
here's
my
the
little-
thing.
that's-
This
that's
is
my little game
unique.
for today.
This is unique here because we're actually Navy deep here. We have more Navy personnel than we do Marines.
Oh,
and
well,
it's-
yeah, how about
I
that?
think there is a lot of
That's right. Take
Asian-
that, Wency.
you got a lot of that. Races. Asia, we're surrounded. Philippine, Japanese, Chinese. It's a melting pot, man. That's what military bases are all
I
about.
wouldn't know. I joined the Navy and they sent me to Tennessee.
Yeah. We don't take. Can we get that? Can we get that one there, Rajesh?
That's
Milk
exactly
purse?
what it was. You get
Milk
your
purse?
ass in Millington, Tennessee. You boy. Party fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord, I wanted to stick a
Hey,
pencil
wow.
in
I heard they erected a statue in your
Yes.
honor after you left.
We
in
don't
Tennessee
take
there.
kindly to folks that don't
Yeah.
take kindly
There's
around
a
here.
fucking gold statue of a guy like just forking over money to disgusting looking strippers with bullet holes and cesarean
my
scars.
God, yes.
Ugh.
Those strippers with scars, those are the best. Anyway, all right.
Gross.
I have a new segment before we go around for our final
Holy
thoughts
shit, Spaniard's got a segment.
and announcements here. Now, let me give you the back set here. Me, Doc, and Doc Dave were at the Moose Lodge 828 in Chicago Heights, Illinois this past weekend doing a veteran appreciation, and they were giving away books. And you know me, I like books. That's why I have a author on the show tonight as one of our special guests. So I am drawn to books. And this book here, I'm not going to give away the author yet because I want to make sure I get permission to use it. But we are going to just give you the quick title, real quick. That's it right there. The name of the book is called How to Say It to Your Cat. Well,
that's
while
Ogre all the way.
yeah, well, me and Doc were waiting to go live. We decided that wouldn't it be cool to change the word cat with none other than the word pussy. So this is exactly right. So we are going to look at the introduction here. And this topic, I'm just going to read a little, one paragraph, and you guys tell me what you think. All right, so the title is called Touch. It may sound a little odd, but your pussy uses touch to communicate with you. Gentle pats to your face with claws sheathed, a gesture of affection. Kneading in your lap is a sign of love and trust. It stimulates the behavior your pussy learned as a nursing kitten as she needed her mother to stimulate the flow of milk. Rubbing her forehead or cheeks against you gives you the compliment of making you as hers. When your pussy curls up in your lap or lies on your chest, it can be sublime for both of you, a time when you feel mutually connected. So there you have it. How to talk to your pussy. Ad-lib by yours truly, Lee Spaniard.
That was a very nice reading. I like the part about
Yes.
the claws because it reminded me of a platypus.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because, you know, like you said about the bullet hole scars of the strippers down in Tennessee. That's you know, it just
Not
reminds
the entire
me.
state of Tennessee, just me.
Yeah, no,
I
got
can't
you.
speak for the whole state.
Gotcha, because there is some beautiful
A lot of
people.
toothless people out there.
No, not toothless, but just beautiful. Just in
They
I
had
general.
didn't say
couple
tooth. I
teeth.
said tooth.
They had
Well,
3 or
that's it.
4.
There you go.
Steve, our cool guy is late, man.
Damn it, Steve. Come on. You
What the
missed
fuck
out
was
the
the
entire
program
show.
here?
Get with the program,
No,
Steve.
Steve probably left. Steve showed up and saw Kira wasn't on and dropped off real quick.
That's
what it
exactly
was.
what happened,
I
yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
go play Tetris.
Yeah,
He's
that's
like, what's
what
this
it was.
PTSD dog? That's not Kira.
Yeah.
Came on
Damn,
to
Kira,
spank
you got
one
a lot of
out and
facial hair.
wasn't
I
able
want
to.
to hear about the boat. Sons
Yeah.
of Anarchy.
All right. So, real quick before we come to an end, I'm on a boat. Yeah, that's it. I went to go visit, myself and Doc Dave went to go visit the Northwest Indiana Veterans Village out in Gary, Indiana. Now, if you guys haven't been to Gary, Indiana, it's a sight to see. It's up and coming. It's developing, but there's a lot of vacant and tore down buildings, and there's this Veterans Village right there near downtown that is they're trying to rebuild that area. So anyway, long story short, this is what I asked them. I said, what exactly do you, and I asked a veteran, all right, there's 44 veterans living at this place, and I came out and just asked a veteran, I go, what would you guys want? I mean, everybody always asks you, but, you know, people just donate, and this is what they said. They actually said that they're tired of corn, right? That I actually saw their pantry, and people just donate corn. I'm like, well, shit, yeah, I would get sick of corn too, man. I'm like, I don't blame you. So
Why does that
When-
make me laugh so much?
I don't know, because that's
Because you're insensitive.
That's what I would give too. Like, when they have the mail comes by every Thanksgiving to pick up, need canned goods.
Reminds
We
me of
always
canned
drop
good
in
drives
corn.
in grade school, and I always feel bad for the kids. I'm like,
Cream
fuck,
corn
they get
everywhere.
like beets and cream corn. I'm
Like,
like, that's a
who the hell
shitty
likes that
Thanksgiving.
shit? So here's my proposal for everyone, because this is the answer that they gave me. They said meat. Believe it or not, meat. Like what they got a very beautiful establishment, and that was the one thing that they said that they miss is meat. So I'm going to ask you guys out there, if you really want to treat veterans right, if you really want to do something good out there, these are men. I'm not sure if there's any women. I didn't see any women yet, but I would say the majority of them are men. These men are they're trying to get back on their feet. They've been through a lot, and they were once homeless, and they're trying to rebuild their lives. So every little bit helps, and they're very, very appreciative. But when I noticed that there was no meat there, like I needed to step up. So that's the problem, folks. We need a solution. So if you have any ideas of how we can get these guys some protein, some real. Let's teach them how to eat right. Let's get them the food that they could actually live off of, and let's give me some ideas of how we could raise money to get them some meat there to them cleanly, properly, and what have you. The other thing,
the hunters.
Well, that's what I was going to say too.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
another
trying to be
thing.
funny, but like
absolutely.
we got a lot of hunters and shit on this show, and a lot of hunting talk.
We should do that.
Drop a deer and.
We could do that because I ran into a veteran
just shoot
special
it. Don't even
forces.
gut it. Just drop it off right.
Not just drop it at the fucking door. Here you go.
Have at it, boys.
Have at it, boys.
Yeah. So help me out on that one. The other thing they need is sheets. Like,
sheets.
When you think about this, we go to a hotel, but those are used sheets. But these guys they're coming into a new apartment, and they're these sheets. We don't know where they've been, so because if they've been donated. So I was going to say if we can get them some brand new sheets for their full size beds, that would be better
Dave
than.
Savini and his black light.
Yeah, because we don't. Yeah, that was my first thought. It's like, hey, did anybody put a black light on these sheets before they put them on the bed?
Gross.
That would be really shitty. Yeah, But anyway, that's my my message there, my challenge. If you guys could help me out with that, please send me some info. You could catch me here, or you can go to blacksheepbravo@gmail.com.
Hey, Devil Dog.
And,
what's up?
Not Devil Dog. Sorry, I forgot who the fuck I was talking to. Hey, Spaniard.
Jace.
I get you guys mixed up. You look alike.
Right, we look alike.
Aren't we doing a thing October 13th?
No. Damn it! Didn't you read the text?
No.
I sent
you didn't get the memo. You didn't get the memo.
Text. That's off.
No, I have another engagement that day. I'm gonna be partying with Svengoolie. It's gonna be a Halloween special, so it's just I didn't trophy wife booked it. I didn't know. So anyway, we'll have to. I talked to George. We're gonna have to redo it. The Serb said let's get together. So
okay. Well, maybe
we need more time to proper plan it anyway. So
all right.
All right. So there we have it. All right. So what we're gonna do? Again, final thoughts, Joaquin. What we do is we just go around the table one more time and just give our final thoughts before we sign off for the weekend. So being that you're our guest, we're gonna let you go first. So any final thoughts to let people know? One last thought about you before the weekend.
Yep. Pay attention, Steve, because you
Try
asked.
Not to make it too sad, because I always end up going after the real sad one.
This is a good one. I also, in addition to the book and the Facebook page and all the other stuff I do a radio show on WDVR, and I've actually been on a brief hiatus, about a month and a half. The first new episode is back up this Sunday evening at. I hope I don't get this wrong, 8 p.m. Eastern on dvradio.net. And my guest is Justin Tucker, who is the handler of Roxy, the PTSD service dog.
Oh, nice.
Won American Humane Service Dog category for 2018. And Justin is in Hollywood right now for the filming of the gala event, which will happen tomorrow night. But I talked to him, interviewed him last week, and talked to him about, all the hoopla and everything that came with winning the American Humane Hero Dog Award. And it's going to be a really good show. So Sunday night at 8 p.m. on dvradio.net, the Service Dog Show with PTSDog.
Right on.
Nice.
Very
cool. I'm going to tune into that, man.
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you, Joaquin. Yep. All right, Devil Dog, final thoughts. Take us out, bro.
Yeah. It's just not even a final thought. It's just, again, thank you for Joaquin for writing this terrific book. I call it my guide, and it's helping me tremendous because I got a new service dog, and she's a handful. Layla, she's German Shepherd. She's Husky mix. Wow, she's 5 months old. But when I started reading your book, I started telling Mrs. Devil Dog, you know what? We've been doing this the wrong way. We might as well start taking tips by the author of this book. And you know what? In just a few days, we've noticed a tremendous difference in the way she acts towards me. And she picks up on symptoms. I say symptoms, like when I start getting upset or whatever that ticks me off. Sometimes I come home from work and I take work home with me, and I don't want to take it out on my family, but sometimes it comes out, and she just immediately starts pushing up against me. So I appreciate you coming to the show, and thank you for writing this book.
Pleasure.
And to all my law enforcement out there, always wear your vest.
Right on. There you have it.
That's right.
Ogre, what do you say? Do you want to go last still, or?
Nah, I'll go. I got nothing.
Roger
important
that.
to say
Take it
this
away,
week.
Ogre.
Joaquin, thanks for coming on, and
Thank
good
you for
luck
having
and
me.
have at it. And there you go. A fine thing you're doing there. What do
you.
I got? I got nothing profound. I got go Cubs.
There you go.
And go Detroit Tigers for 2 goddamn games. That's all I'm asking. Just win one against Milwaukee. That's it. Just one.
You can do
fucking
it. Come
game.
on.
That's all you got to
Sacrifice
do.
some chickens if you have.
And don't forget Monday Motivation Monday. I have a Monday Motivation.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't forget on Monday, it's Monday Motivation with Ogre at 7 p.m. Central. And hey, what the hell? That was uncalled for. We'll have some exciting fun like we always do, and I should have some good stories because I got a chock full exciting Saturday coming up here tomorrow.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Hide your wife because they raping everybody out here.
Well, there may be
That's
some of
it.
that too. We got an exciting family 1-year-old birthday party to attend, and an exciting catch up with the old high school buddies, friends, pub crawl bullshit later on after that. So
Right on.
hopefully something will happen, and I'll have something to talk about on fucking Monday because I'm running
All
out
right,
of
we're
time.
looking forward to it. You better be good.
We can, or else we're gonna have to go back to Ogre and Doc argue and a visit to Ogre's radio record collection.
Record. Yeah, that's a good one.
And
What a
as
fun
always, be cool and don't sweat the small stuff.
Fucking A.
Unless you're
Right on. All right, Doc, take us out.
Oh, let's see. So Joaquin was just talking about Justin Tucker, and to clarify, I'm pretty sure he wasn't talking about the NFL place kicker. So let's settle that right now.
Okay.
What do I got?
I don't even know who
Let's
that
see.
is. Football.
He was like on the Vikings or something, or the Ravens
He
or something.
was.
I don't know.
The ex-NFL place kicker. That's the guy that got canned after the first game. They missed all the fucking field goals.
Whoops.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
But anyways, well, if you're gonna be stupid, at least be smart about it. Yeah, that's really all I got. Wakanda forever.
There you go. Right on. Well, there. I'll make mine short and sweet just as well. It's the last day of September. October is right around the corner. Fall is we're deep in it now, except down in Florida. It's still kind of hot according to Siren, but
Pumpkin
yeah, this is my
spice
favorite
season.
time of the year. I love it. Changing of the colors of the leaves is just great. So kind of tying it with what Ogre said. Yeah, I mean, I just take time, slow down, appreciate what's around you because, sometimes we take things for granted like sight. And like I said, I think I wake up every morning and I wake up as if this is the first day of my life. And those colors of the leaves are just one of the things. It's a reminder that life is good. So, folks, no matter how tough it's out there, you got friends in your corner like us right here. So don't forget to tune in next week. We may have another special guest. And again, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us here on Facebook. And don't forget to check out Joaquin Juatai's book. We'll have a post up here how you could find it as well as his Facebook page. But thanks for watching. This is the Spaniard, keeping it tight as always. Have a great evening, a great weekend.
You touch my collar.
Watch Monday.
My ding ding dong.
Wait for it.